Yay, traffic jam. I was supposed to be meeting up with Steve Goodgame Bees and Homestead. And looks like we're running out of daylight. We might be doing some nighttime beekeeping for a video. It's a robbery.
You got a hive tool with your hand. Hey, yeah,
Yep.
Good idea.
That's a hive too.
Stir them up a little bit.
We're Steve and Cindy from Goodgame Bees and Homestead, and we're hanging out on the 628 Dirt Rooster channel today, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life.
It's just getting robbed. Ain't nobody in here defending it.
If they robbing it out, they just started because this is still all capped.
Plenty of honey there.
Queen cells. So probably what happened is the
Queen didn't get
queen
made.
didn't make it.
Is this a split y'all did or something, or is
This is Pops' bee yard, so there's no telling. We're just digging into his stuff for the video.
Yeah. That's all right. When he comes to our house, he digs into ours. So.
He don't think. Is she dragging something out of there?
Yeah, there's a dead larva there. No brood.
Couple gallons of honey in there.
Yeah. Look and see if there's a virgin queen running around here. Because if there is, we could reduce this down to the 5-frame box, pull the honey out. Maybe save it. But it'd stick a frame of brood in here with it though, because
Nothing in there to hatch out.
yeah, and there ain't hardly enough bees left to tend any eggs and brood.
Nope.
Let her have it.
Don't really need a feeder on it.
No, but I think that's what they were going to. That's why they weren't going to the honey. Because they were going after the feed.
Let's have it screwed down.
Here on my hive tool.
I got one. This thing's full of honey too. It's ready to go. I'm just gonna stick that super on it.
We'll put it underneath this other one.
So that first one we looked at, you're just going to pretty much let that go?
Yeah.
Not enough bees in there to...
What we could do is take like that nuke right there. It's got bees bulging out the top of it. We could take that box and put right here in this location. That way these bees will have more to build onto. Because that one's got plenty of drawn out comb.
Yeah.
So it gives this queen more area to lay, plus all the honey that they've got stored in that already. And that way these bees would defend that honey and have it for winter time. Can you get a little rougher with it? Let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hives on this stand. Just go ahead and shake them all up.
I'll just give them all a little bit of smoke. Done. Fixed. Oh yeah. Set that box in there.
All right, so why would you want to put that box of foundation underneath a box of drawn out comb with honey all in it?
Make them work it faster, and well, two things: make them work it faster, but this is going to be the first thing to be extracted, and we'll have to move this box again to get to this one that you know is full already, because it's already capped out all the way. But if the bees are traveling through, that thing's heavy, through blank foundations that hadn't been worked before, they're more likely to work it if they're having to walk on it. And if it's up top, they're not as likely to be traveling on it. What'd I do with the lid?
You gave it to me. There you go.
It's 1 or 2 bees on
Is
there.
there a bee on there? I can't see. Is there a bee on there?
Yeah, you might want to either prop it up or shake them off before you put that on there.
Yeah.
Not much shaking required.
All right, why you got it propped up like that?
For ventilation. Because it's scorching hot out here, and you don't want to cook them. There's no breeze. And we don't run intercovers for the top exits.
Why is that? Why don't you run intercovers?
Just extra equipment I have to keep up with.
It doesn't really serve any.
Yeah, it serves a purpose. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. We just don't use them. It's just something else to buy, keep up with, and maintain. And
So it doesn't hurt anything to not run intercovers at all. Apparently not. I'm all for that. That's one less piece of equipment I have to put together. So.
I mean, I like them for some things, but we just don't use them.
I wondered about it because I picked up a couple of swarms. I didn't have enough intercovers for them, so I didn't put intercovers on them. Yeah. And I wondered if I needed to hurry up.
They keep the bees from building on the bottoms of your lids is one thing. And you can use them for a feeder. You know, they've all got the hole in them, so
yeah, you can put that.
You can put your feeder on that and put a box on top of your feeder to keep the sun off of it, keep the coons off of it.
Are coons a problem on feeders?
With these, yeah, they'll knock them off.
With the jars on top of the box like this?
Yeah, well, they knock them off and turn them on their side, and as they're laying there dripping out, the coons and probably possums too will drink the sugar water.
Now you had mentioned something else about the feeders with it. When the sun hits it and they're getting low.
Yeah, if the sun hits it, they get low, they get kind of hot, they lose vacuum and they'll dump. So you don't want center drilled lids like this one because it's right over the brood. And when you lose vacuum, you just wet the brood down, and you don't want that. So if you're going to run these tops and you're not going to make sure they've got full jars on them, then you want them off to the side somewhere.
So how often are you refilling these jars?
Every day.
I have not had splits actually take. I don't know if it's because you're splitting them in too big of a box.
All right, Megan Nuke's just a smaller hive of bees. These are designed for 3 deep frames. Okay. We've tried the small mini nukes before, and for us, because we're not full-time beekeepers and we're doing it as a hobby, they're too small. They're very time sensitive. So if you put a queen cell in a mini nuke and the queen flies out and gets mated and comes back, within about 10 days she's going to be laying eggs. Okay. If you don't go in there and pull that queen pretty soon after she starts laying, those mini nukes are so small that the bees will be swarming in a couple of weeks. So if we use the 3 frame deeps, it does 2 things. It keeps us from having to have a different size frame, because we like to use deep frames and mediums. If we use the mini nukes, we've got to have a 3rd size frame that doesn't fit any other box that we've got. So with the 3-frame mating nukes, using the deep frames, we can pull a frame of brood out of a deep box, put in here our 2 frames brood and a frame of honey, or a frame of brood, a frame of honey, and an empty frame with our queen cell, and get our nuke going, get our queen mated. Once she's mated, we can pull her out and either bank her or put her in a split, and then put a queen cell right back in there to start the whole process all over again.
So you're just pulling a queen cell out of some other hive and putting it in there. You're not using these to try to create a whole new split where you a frame of eggs or whatever.
You can, but it's going to take you longer. You're going to have to, from 3 frames, you're going to have to move them up either to 5 frames or 10 frame. You can do it that way, but we're using these just to mate queens. Okay. So we'll do some grafting, get our queen cells ready, and then put them into the 3-frame mating nuke. Once the queen emerges from the queen cell, she gets mated, she's laying after a couple of weeks, and you can leave a 3-frame mating nuke, you can leave it for 2-3 weeks, a month, and they're not going to swarm like they would in a mini nuke, because those mini nukes are only, the frames are about this big.
Yeah, it's about the size of a shoebox, a small shoebox at that, probably.
Yeah, half of a shoebox.
Yeah.
So they don't have they've got a whole lot more room here. So these are not as time sensitive. Works out better for us.
So what's going on now is this box that was getting robbed, that had a failed colony in it, is being moved over to the location of a successful nuke. And this successful nuke colony is going to be moved into this 10 frame. And the reason for moving it from over there to over here, from over there to over here, is because everyone who's robbing this box knows that is the spot. And it's not a serious bad robbing frenzy right now, and there is still a live colony in it. So this is going to be a merger somewhat, but this new colony is pretty dang strong.
So how are you going to determine which frames you're going to take out of here to put these ones in there?
I'm just pulling the 5 center frames out.
I'm just going to put that colony right there in the middle of them.
And then if we've got another 5-frame nuke, we can take these drawn out combs and stack in a second box on top of them, or move another 5-frame nuke into a 10-frame box.
Now you've got a little queen cell starting down there. You know, you see a lot of folks say squish them and whatnot. What y'all thinking on that?
That queen cell there is one that we looked at it already. The queen was not developed, and they were already starting to chew it out.
Can you find it? It's
Right here. We got honey there.
Honey.
What we got here?
Brood.
Those little bitty ones, you should have got the big ones going in the case there.
Honey and brood. Starting to backfill some of the cells.
We've still got open larvae in too on this side. Looking pretty good. They're going to be so happy that they don't have to do all that work to collect so much honey. The gods have smiled on us.
Look, honey, someone moved us into Walmart.
Now, as far as your brood pattern, you still consider that a good brood pattern, even with the gaps in the middle? How do you?
There's nothing really wrong with the brood pattern you got here. What it is, just this time of year, they're not laying a lot. So all the empty cells that the queen is not refilling, they're just filling with honey. But if you look in this side here, say all the open brood, she's filling pretty much every hole.
See, I don't know if you can see, we got larvae down in there.
And I'm looking for the queen. I hadn't spotted her yet.
Yeah, I'm looking too, and I ain't seen her.
So I think I found her. Either that or she's either that or you got a worker carrying pollen on her back.
That's what it is. She got the backpack plan. And she's missing her wings.
The short wingtips.
Somebody got carried away with the clippers. We send all our queens to Supercuts.
There'll be a link in the descriptions below.
Yeah, Supercuts, you can send me a check at.
Here we got more brood. And this side, more brood. See that brood pattern there? I mean, it's pretty solid. You got a few empty spots there, but that's a pretty good brood pattern.
Like you said, this time of year you don't expect full frames.
No,
of
not at
brood
all.
because it's getting.
Not at all. And you really don't want full frames of brood this time of year.
Just for reference, it is getting towards the end of July. Just in case I don't get this out until sometime in mid-December.
So a lot of our boxes, our 5-frame nuke boxes, have deeper bottoms in them. So the bees will build comb on the bottom of the frames, and that's a good idea just to trim those off, because you don't want to roll the queen moving these frames in and out. So now we got a 10-frame box where there once was a 5-frame nuke.
So you just shook those in front instead of on top of it. Why is that?
They'll all go right back to it.
This nuke box, it's empty now, over here to the side. That way the bees that were in it, they'll try to go back to their original location, but the location's not there. So they'll probably pick a box on either side of where it was at and make themselves at home.